Hi, this is Ron, and this is just a short video to discuss and compare a competitor skid plate available online, made out of metal. And I ordered one because I was kind of curious, always looking to find a better product. And so I attached this to my Rover and got the two bolts up front and the connecting bolt in the back, which was really hard to get in place, but it's there. One of the first things I noticed as I come down here was the protection for the skid plate for the sensor. Let me get that out of the way. The skid plate, you can see the edge of it right here. And then the magnetic sensor pickup that I'm touching. What I've noticed, because there's no bumpers on this plate, I can take my thumb and I can press in on it without using a lot of pressure, and I can hit that contact, that magnetic sensor pickup. My point being, if you hit a rock or something hard enough, you're not going to have any protection for that. You can see it's touching right there, and that's with my thumb. So that's a small amount of pressure compared to a rock. The second thing I noticed was looking down vertically, it covers part of the sensor pickup from mud and snow, but it doesn't cover the bulk of it, which would be the ideal, of course. Other than that, it's a good looking plate. And let me go to this side here and shoot through. And there again, you can see that magnetic sensor there. And take my thumb to press it. It's hard to operate a camera and do this, but I can make contact right there with my thumb. So it's just something to think about. If you buy the competitor's plate, you're going to miss out on some of that protection for the magnetic sensor. Hi, this is the skid plate that I sell on eBay. It's made out of 1/8" KYDEX, which is in the plastic family, but it's an aviation grade plastic, resistant to breakage. You almost can't damage this stuff. That's why they use it on the inside of airplane walls and things like that, because small objects won't even pierce it. I use two rubber bumpers here. The wires come out of the frame, go through the bumpers, and that's what maintains the distance. And even though the front part, top part, bolts to the frame, impact, you can twist. I don't know if you can see that. You can twist this plate and you will still maintain the distance to protect those wires in there. I use zip ties on the bottom because it allows for some torsional movement. Besides the fact they're much easier to put on compared to using the bolt that attaches to the rear fender to the frame. They allow for a little more movement, and like most people, if you've been around a while, you'll remember bumpers used to be made out of steel on cars, but they found out that something that absorbs the impact causes less damage. So that's why I'm not a big believer on steel, unless you're using plate steel or something incredibly thick. You can bend this wherever you want. It will flex back to the original position. That's something, if you hit steel, it's going to dent, and you're going to have to either hammer it out or figure out another solution. So let me go ahead and put this on the bike, and I'll show you another point I want to make. Okay, I've got the skid plate on. Bike's upside down. Any weird noise you hear, that's just wind blowing my garage doors. So let's go down here and look at what we got going. You'll notice that the rubber bumper protects the wires coming out of the frame, and then the wires themselves are routed between the two bumpers. Let me get in there, you can see it. The bumpers rest on the bottom of that crank assembly housing, and then the wires continue where they're supposed to go. So no amount of impact, let me get my hammer here. Whatever hits that, those bumpers are maintaining that distance for safety, and you can't really hurt that skid plate. If that were steel, you'd be bending it, denting it, and possibly having to straighten it out, depending, how big the impact is. And Let's go overhead and look straight down. There you go. And you'll notice that the entire magnetic sensor pickup is protected 100%. And that, to me, is a major factor, a major advantage. Okay, I've turned the bike over so we can see inside there. You'll see the edge of the skid plate. And then, I can't get my finger in there. You can see the sensor pickup. I painted it white. But you can also, if you look real close, you'll see the bumper back there besides the sensor. And if I push down hard as I can, I cannot get the skid plate to flex enough to make contact with the sensor. So that's what guarantees the safety of the sensor from getting hit by a rock or something. Also, something I might point out is my edges are kind of nice and smooth. I guess on the metal plate, it doesn't really matter once it's installed, but while installing my bike, it's pretty sharp edges, so be careful if you use that. And thanks for watching and giving it consideration.